astrology, and other divinatory arts are not a replacement or substitute for physical or psychiatric health care. If this is an emergency situation or you are in crisis, please do not defer your wellness to readings or horoscopes. Seek situation-appropriate, qualified assistance instead. Blessings and welcome everyone, Nico here. It's time for another weekly all-sign general 5-card tarot spread for what is going on with each and all of us environmentally and atmospherically as we go through the week of June 6th, 2022. Remember, this is about what everyone is going through on top of what I have already done in the individual sign forecasts, which are already up, by the way, if you are either a YouTube member supporter or Patreon supporter. So if you want to go check those out after this video, please do. If you want to sign up for either of those services, remember those are two different things. There's the YouTube membership supporter, which you would just sign up for by clicking the join button here on my YouTube. And then there's Patreon, which is actually on another site. And I also offer discount opportunities and things like that over there. I'll leave links in the down bar below. If you are ever interested in getting a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what's going on when it comes to our week of June 6th? Well, the big spiritual theme or the big focus, the big energy behind all things is the Tower card upright. So we see this massive explosion that is creating a concussive series of life track shifts for everybody getting underway this week. It's important to keep in mind that whenever the Tower shows up, it marks a point where you can say spirit, source, God, the universe, however you want to term it, is pushing and enforcing the advancement of all and the advancement of everybody regardless of what is going on with individual or personal journeys or ego perspectives. The Tower card upright can indicate, yes, sudden abrupt endings, collapses, things falling apart that are a part of an old story that we are not living anymore. And with the Tower card, it's important to roll with the punches. You know, the hardest thing to do with the Tower is keep up the kinetic flow, keep up the movement with it. However, with the Tower card, it's not all bad. It doesn't have to be scary. Sometimes these Tower card moments can actually be quite beneficent. Sometimes, you know, the world gets turned upside down because you get a promotion. The world gets turned upside down because you're literally in the middle of moving house. Or the world gets turned upside down because you get a new job, but you have to move across the country. However that is going to go. But we're each and all going to be having our own series of life track changes as we go through this week. The only thing that would really, you know, create suffering here is if a person were attached to something staying the way it was, or immoderate with their emotions, or immoderate with their self-control. And it's important to, of course, make sure that you don't get sucked up or embody the intensity or even the craziness that comes with the Tower moment. We are all responsible for making sure we each don't do that. When it comes to material circumstances, your work, your job, finances, all of our practical affairs, how we're handling things like career or household matters as it relates to home and family, we've got the King of Swords upright. And so with this focus on new life tracks, new stories getting underway, we're also seeing a lot of new agreements, a lot of new long-term commitments getting secured. With the King of Swords upright, we see not only new direction or new visions coming forward, but we're also seeing a lot of evolutions to systems, to sensibilities, to trends, and to protocols to make everything a lot more convenient, a lot more lucrative, a lot more abundant for each of us. The King of Swords upright is also all about solving old challenges or old problems, or maybe even old sicknesses that have been permitted to exist in this space of our life for a long time. And this could become a week where there are a few reforms that are in order, whether this is going on in your office or it's going on in your field or it's going on in a family financial matter. But with the King of Swords upright, it's about getting everything squared up, straightened up, and flying right. And so this is a time where it's tumultuous, but it's the kind of tumultuous where it's almost like we have to break everything so it comes back together the right way. And it makes me think of, resetting a bone. If a bone is broken and it's not healing back correctly, the doctor has to break the bone again so that it can reset the proper way. This is what I feel is happening here. But what the cool thing is with the King of Swords upright, what we are having as a replacement to our normal that's going away is vastly superior. When it comes to community, friends, relatives, how we're handling community or collective matters, how we're getting on with each other, our platonic relationships, friends and family in that respect, we do have the Two of Cups reversed. And while all of this is going on, there is going to be a huge focus on eliminating any kind of situation where incompatible sensibilities, incompatible energies, incompatible people are forced to share the same space or are blocking each other from being with the friends, the community, or the business, or the life path that they are truly meant for. This is a big shakeup. And when we think about how this works in the context of our social lives, sometimes when it comes to a world like we're in right now, which is so impersonal, internet communities and things like that, where pretty much, 90% of the friendships that exist are totally parasocial, incompatible energies are exchanged all the time, and it's almost like passing pathogens back and forth. And so with the Two of Cups reversed, what we're seeing is opportunities for us to break away from people that have become attached to us or situations that we have maybe been trapped in that are incompatible with us or our life's work or our relationship desires or our social desires or our creative desires, in order to swap out a lot of involvements for what really does work, what really is the compatible match, versus trying to make incompatibilities work that cannot be made to work. And so you may be noticing shifts in business. You may be noticing shifts in, what crowds you are moving in. You may be finding that, yes, there may be certain situations with unhealthy friendships or unhealthy family relationships getting brought to a head so that everyone who needs to be woken up to the truth of the situation about how bad it is can be woken up to it. But nobody is required to be forced to occupy the spaces that they don't belong in anymore. And so a lot of movement, a lot of musical chairs, but also remember with the Two of Cups reversed, we are also getting a chance to swap out, right? Swap out for better business, swap out for better collaborators, swap out for a stronger network, and swap out for better family space, however that is going to go. When it comes to the challenge that we all need to pay attention to, or what we are challenged to remember throughout the course of this week, is the Five of Cups reversed. And with the Five of Cups reversed, the biggest challenge is acceptance. Accepting replacements, accepting movement, accepting being moved, and accepting things moving on. With the Five of Cups reversed as a challenge, this is a time where we are all getting a chance to be set up with success or set up for success. And we have to let go of any kind of ego attachments to maybe an investment in it coming by a certain means or coming through a certain affiliation or being all about a certain person, a certain group, or a certain space, right? We have that's mental infancy. it's important to let go every once in a while, especially where we may feel like we've gotten something wrong or we have been overly entangled in something following a particular propriety or procedure. With the Five of Cups reversed, you are also going to find that because replacements are showing up in a good way, right? Like we saw with business, with superior models, with the King of Swords upright, you've got to accept replacements that show up as opposed to reject them or say, I don't want it, I want my old thing. With the Five of Cups reversed, we may need to be ready to move on without any kind of formal closure or formal resolution to old narratives and old stories. And you know what? It's a sign of spiritual maturity to be able to move forward without closure. It's a sign of spiritual maturity and responsibility to be able to keep up the pace, keep healthy, keep strong without any kind of overly drawn out resolution. And with the Five of Cups reversed, I implore everyone to be ready this week to just get set up with a good thing instead. When it comes to relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, marriage, and even nuclear family situations, we have the Sun card reversed. And even reversed, this is actually a very positive card because it's all about uncomplicating things that have been overly complicated by whatever influences. And so you may be noticing that a lot of relationships are working on coming back to a space of this very strong, wholesome, organic simplicity, letting go of maybe too many involvements in storylines or with other households or incompatible friendships, right? Bad community. We kind of saw that with the Two of Cups reversed. This week is really about kicking the crap out of parasocial relationships and fake community. And we're also seeing with the Sun card reversed a lot of opportunities to connect with partners, whether they are existing partners or spouses, or for those of you that are available to new people or are single, getting a chance to connect with people on a level where it's who we are on the inside that is actually doing the connecting, right? That inner child, that wholesome simplicity, uncomplicated by maybe, cultural influences or external pressures or any kind of objectifying designs for what we think a relationship's supposed to be. With the Sun card reversed, there is a tremendous amount of personal and relationship healing going on during this week. And we're also bringing in a lot more cheer, a lot more fun, a lot more recreation, and a lot more restorative experiences. Restorative experiences for existing relationships and restorative experiences that actually precipitate the first steps of new relationships to get off the ground as well. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.